Just to understand the scale of the litigation, since 2002, almost 500 kilometers of fence and walls were erected out of 700, more than 700 that it will be the total length. And about 120, 130 cases were filed. There are 2 petitions that were filed against the intention to build or to erect a separation wall on the lands of Battir. One is by the Battir Village Council and the villagers. And I filed the petition on behalf of an environmental Israeli-Jordanian Palestinian organization by the name of Friends of Earth Middle East. And our petition deals with the importance of the site on which the route of the wall is supposed to go through as a World Heritage Site. Battir is a very unique place in which cultivation of land, human cultivation of land, agriculture, has been active consecutively for the last 4,000 years. There are old terraces that are man-made and tunnels that bring water from a spring that emerges up on the hill. And these tunnels bring the water like small aqueducts that bring water to the terraces.
We have the Roman system for irrigation, and it was a very old one. It goes through the spring, the fountain, the main one, because we have many fountains, by the way, in Battir, and goes through in a canal, and after that it goes to the land by separation of yeah, of course it's a Roman one. It was an old one, and it is still found nowadays.
So the whole region has this kind of cultural characteristics of irrigated terraces, vegetable production. It's a daily base. In the morning they go, they pick up and they send it to a market, and in the evening they go on working, they water, somebody is there. So the whole village in the past has been involved in this kind of, all the villages around. Basically, in this map, this is like the geopolitical map of settlements. Are these gray spots here? As you see, they're fragmented around the territory. And there is this armistice line. The armistice line is the border between, here is Israel, here is the West Bank. So it's dividing the 2 territories. And basically this line, which overlaps, come in and go out and kind of go around this whole territory, the whole block, which is Block Etzion, is the wall. It's planned and constructed in different areas here, but still in this area yet to be constructed. And Battir is part of this process here.
What is the reason that the army is so eagerly pursuing this route? Well, the reason is that a train route goes through the site. It's an old Ottoman train route. And this old Ottoman train route has once brought people from Jaffa to Jerusalem, and today it is used between Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. Because it's so old, it's not really a mass transportation vehicle, but rather a more touristic old train that is used by tourists and people who want to see the area around. And the army is using that excuse that they need to have the barrier in a position that would leave the train track on the Israeli side of the fence. The wall will damage the site in three ways. First, it will damage the several terraces that it will be built on. The army says 2 terraces will be damaged. We say 5, but doesn't matter how many. These physical demolitions will damage these sites. Second thing is that it will divide the site. Divide in the sense of landscape. One of the traits, important traits of a World Heritage Site that is a landscape is that it is uninterrupted. And building a barrier, may it be a wall or a fence, will divide it, will damage its completeness. And the third and most important damage is the fact that it will create an area that is beyond the barrier. And the area beyond the barrier would not be freely accessible anymore. And we know it from other areas where the wall was built or the fence was built. In many cases, the army has made lots of promises, but eventually the villagers, if they are lucky, they get to cross twice a year or so to cultivate their land.
The preliminary research was in 2008, around April 2008, where there was 2 anthropologists and including me as the architect, who did a preliminary research on the knowledge of the area. When Palestine became full member in UNESCO, that was the moment when we were able to say the document is ready, it needs to be edited, it needs to be worked on, but it is ready, documentation is there, work has been done, we need this project to be nominated. The Palestinian Authority was easily saying, and the ones who are working also specifically in the Ministry of Antiquity, they were arguing that this is not the only site in Palestine and this is not the most important. Our argument was saying it's on the contrary. We need to bring a site which is not important, which is not the Church of Nativity, which is not important, where the cultural heritage of the everyday Palestinian practice happens. If we are able to say that every landscape in Palestine, this is one example, Battir, is an important landscape, they're able to tell that whatever is happening, like settlements construction, road construction, and all these deterioration of the landscape, we can also argue legally that this land must be protected, and all other parts of the land could be protected.